Hey guys, Problem1701 here, and today we are going to be talking about the horror of Fang Rock, starring the Fourth Doctor and Leela. I really like the horror of Fang Rock. It is the first story of the Williams era, the first story of season 15, and it's a story that very much people could mistakenly think it's part of the Hinchcliffe era. It would fit right in seasons 13 or 14. Very much that gothic horror. I love the fact it takes place at night. Night is the perfect setting for it. The outside shots are done really well. The inside shots are done really well. It's really well directed. I like Doctor Who when it does horror right, and it does here. I love the glowing green effect we see at times from the creature in at the Rutan. It's really creepy. Something about that kind of glowing green is just creepy and is perfect for like a horror movie or a horror episode. It's really good here. Tom is really good here. Leela's really good here. It's not, to me, Leela's best. I mean, Louise is still great, but I've seen other stories where I feel like she's acted better. There's a couple of the things she does in it that fits her character, but for some reason don't quite fit with me. But they fit her character being savage the way she is. But she's still really good here. Tom, of course, like I said, he's at the top of his game like he pretty much always is. I love when he gets fed up with the other female in it, the guest star female, and he's like, "Go downstairs to the room," and he just kind of snaps at her. He doesn't have time to put up with that. I think most of the guest cast do a really good job. Really, the only irksome one to me is the female, the guest female. She's very annoying, almost theatrically acting in the sense that it would be great on stage, but not so good on the camera when she's whining and afraid. And I was glad when she got killed. I was rooting for the Rutan right there. Get her, Rutan! She was just so... There's actually one point when she complains about something and Leela's over there like, "Never have I felt so close to a companion in my life." Because I was right there with Leela going, Luckily the other guest actress got killed soon after that. Which is really weird. It's weird watching this story and reviewing it because I don't own it. And I was having to watch it online. And the videos I was watching online, I'd swear they were like 240p, 360p. And so trying to watch them, and 2 of the 4 episodes were flipped. They were backwards. Really did detract from my experience. I love the story. It's a really good story. But I would have rather have either had it on DVD or the season 15 box set had been out and I could have watched it there. I would have really enjoyed seeing it with the detail looking better. As is, I kept finding myself kind of getting pulled out of the story. My viewing experience with this story was held back by the fact I was having to watch it online from these websites because a lot of the scenes where they're outside in the dark, it's kind of hard to tell completely what's going on. The guest actors do a good job. Some of them are kind of two-dimensional. I will admit some are more fleshed out than others. I was really enjoying the original 3. I hated when the one guy got killed. The first guy who got killed, I liked him. I hated he died so early. I like Ruben, the kind of older guy. The actor playing him, who I believe was also in The Enemy of the World, if I remember correctly. He does a good job because he's not only having to play Ruben in the first 2 episodes, but he's having to play the Rutan disguised as Ruben in the last 2 episodes. And he does a good job of that, too. He does really good as coming across as the kind of old wise guy who's a little superstitious because he's seen some stuff or he's heard enough about stuff. He firmly believes in the legend of Fang, the creature of Fang Rock, the beast of Fang Rock. I really like when he's playing the Rutan disguised as Ruben. The Rutan disguised as Ruben. Because he is very much playing like a creature, mimicking a person and slowly learning to try to play that facsimile. And it's really neat. Like when you first see him, he's just like, "Leave me be." And then the first time he smiles right before he kills like Hector or whatever his name is, one of the guys down at the bottom later, he kind of smiles like he's just kind of learning how to smile properly. Whereas later in the story, like in episode 4, you see him smiling more readily, more, I won't say normally, but it doesn't look as forced. It's like he's getting better at it, but he's not using it right. There's still something evil in his smile, and I like something like that. Something that's supposed to be friendly but isn't. Kind of like a clown in It. Something that's supposed to be happy and friendly, like a smile, looks sinister because he's not wearing it right. It doesn't match his eyes. It's really good acting. Right when he kills the guy at the beginning of episode 4 at the top of the lighthouse, for example, he has that kind of smile on as he closes in on him. And then when he runs into Leela and the other group at the door later in episode 4, and he's just... It's little things, but little things like that really work for me. I like the actual Rutan itself, its effect. The little glowing green glob. It looks pretty good. I think it's realized really well, especially for the 70s. It does have a 70s look to it, but I actually really like that effect. Doesn't quite work when it's trying to go upstairs, but when it's just sitting there, it looks really neat. I love the fact that the Rutans aren't humanoid. I like the fact they're more like a jellyfish or something. I enjoy that design. Because I get a little tired of everything being humanoid, 2 arms, 2 legs, yada, yada, yada. And it's neat because the Sultarans and the Rutans are enemies. They've been in this deadly war. And of course the Sultarans look very humanoid, whereas the Rutans don't. And I like that. I like that, how different they are, and yet they're still at war. And I love how it continues the fact of Earth being a strategic point. We see that in several stories with the Sultarans, that Earth is a very much a strategic holding point. So we see that here for the Rutans. They also consider it a very strategic holding point, which is why this one's there. I really enjoyed that. Let's see. There's that really jarring cut when the other girl gets killed, like right when Ruben shows up and it shows Leela with the knife kind of back with everybody else in the room. Then it cuts to Tom doing stuff. And when it cuts back to the other room with Leela, the Rutan disguised as Ruben is killing the girl. And it doesn't show how it gets to that. We don't know if she tried to make a break for it, if she tried to reason with Ruben. It's very jarring. At least going from the online video I watched, it was very jarring to see it just cut to him killing her. Not quite knowing how he got to her, because I wouldn't have thought Leela would have let him get that close to her. So, I don't know, at least in this viewing, again, it felt very jarring. There was another really jarring moment, too. I don't remember what it was right off. I liked the Colonel, the guest star that was the Colonel. I liked him in it. I thought he was pretty good. I like how when Tom's getting the diamonds, he finds the one diamond he needs and just throws the others on the ground. That's very much a Doctor thing to do. Even though they're worth all this, the Doctor is not really one of those people concerned about the the monetary value of stuff. So he just, and the Colonel's like, it's a very Doctor thing to do, and so I love it. I love when Leela and the Doctor are talking when the Doctor's wiring up the lighthouse to change it into the laser. And Leela's talking about how good it is to destroy your enemies, and Tom's like, well, I disagree with you, but this isn't the time to just have a morality discussion. And I like how he says it just as a quick aside. It's one of those things, you're not even paying attention, you might not even catch it, but it pushes how even the Doctor doesn't even like having to kill his enemies. He doesn't like having to kill. He doesn't want to kill his enemies. So I love the fact that if this had been done in the new series, it would have been an epic speech about you can't kill your enemies and morality and blah, 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 despite the fact the Doctor kills his enemies all the time, especially in the new series. But, it would have been a big speech like, I never would! Let it be a man who never would! But instead here, I love how it's much more subtle. It's just a casual line he says. It doesn't even have to be in the script. But it being in the script is a great character-defining moment for the Doctor, especially the 4th Doctor. Goes back to his do I have the right bit. The 4th Doctor doesn't like to kill. He will if he has to, but he doesn't like to. And again, I love how it's just kind of a blink and you miss it thing. It's so subtle, but it really impacted me. It's one of the things that really stood out to me character-wise for the Doctor. I really do enjoy it. I love the interactions between Leela and the Doctor in this. I like the interactions between the Doctor and the guest cast in this. I like the fact that Louise Jameson got to get rid of those contacts, how they wrote into the script how her eyes change colors at the end, which is because she has blue eyes in real life, and they made her wear contacts to have brown eyes for the part of Leela, and she said she's going to leave if she couldn't get rid of them because they bothered her eyes. So they wrote that in so she could just have blue eyes for the rest of her run, which was, I know that was a nice relief for Louise. Some of the effects for the stories, I can see why. I had forgotten how dated and limited some of the effects are in this story, having only seen it once before. because I'd always figured when they did season 15, I wanted Underworld to get cleaned up. But I could see the argument why people make for this one, because there are a lot of little scenes. You know, anytime it shows the lighthouse from like the Rutan's point, anytime it shows anything from the Rutan's point of view, really, with just the little green around the edge, that could be improved upon. The ship crashing into the dock could be fixed. There's a lot of shots of the actual lighthouse or Tom hanging from the ledge that could be fixed. The spaceship getting destroyed at the end could be fixed. There are a lot of effect shots that could be redone with CGI just to make the execution of the story fully live up to the story, which, don't get me wrong, it's very well directed. It's really just the special effects shots that need to be cleaned up a little, simply because a lot of that stuff you couldn't do back then. But even if they don't do special effects, new special effects for the story, it's a really good story. I really like it. The only thing really pulling it down for me, like I said, was that one female character. Really bothered me. And just the way I was having to watch it with the footage not looking the best kind of pulled me out of my viewing experience. It took me about a week and a half to get through all 4 episodes. And it's a story I really enjoy. I'm really looking forward. I'll probably do another review of it when the season 15 box set does come out. I'm really looking forward to seeing it on that and watching all the behind the stuff footage from it. So I'm trying to think. Like I said, I watched the episodes so far apart. It's not all fresh and gelled in my mind. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much about it. It's a fantastic story. Definitely one of the best post Hinchcliffe stories. It's one of the best. When I ranked my top 10 like post Hinchcliffe stories, it was pretty high on the list, obviously, because it is one I enjoy watching. So what do you think of the horror of Fang Rock? Comment down below. Let me know what you think of my review. And is it the story, like when season 15 comes out, what story do you want the special effects? You know, if they do enhanced CG effects, what story do you want it on? Do you want it on this one? I'd like to know. I always enjoy interacting with you guys, and you guys letting me know what you think. So comment down below and give me a shout about that. Other things to do, click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications so you never miss out on a new video. I do a new video daily. As I mentioned earlier, I do have a Patreon if you would like to support me on that. You can find a link to that down in the description below. Check that out if you have a free minute. My entry-level tier is only $2 a month. I have higher tiers as well that give you access to other things. I have decided that through the entire month of June, I will be continuing what I did through April and May, to where I am going to be allowing access to stuff that's usually reserved only to higher tiers. I'm going to allow that even at the entry tier level for all of June. I have a couple polls going right now. Depending on when this video goes up, they may have just ended. But I will have another poll going up soon if that is the case. So if you would like to get on to that, just $2 a month. That'll help me out. And then you also would get a free video request like this was. So most importantly though, stay safe out there. And thank you for watching.